I really have appreciated these interviews very much and the opportunity to reach out and talk to our many clients and supporters. And there's just one thing that I want to make clear about my entire Arrowhead experience that I think I want to point out very strongly. But yeah, this is not about me. The success and the awards that are won, I didn't win them. Who won them was my staff and their excellent dedication to myself and the company. They've been an outstanding group and always have been. I was at a seminar one time and it was a pretty intense accounting thing. And the instructor asked, he says, what is the most important asset of every business? And it is not on your balance sheet. And we'd been pounding formulas and figures and all that. And I'm like, what in the world is he talking about? And he said, it's your people. It's the most important asset any business ever has. And yet it doesn't show up on a balance sheet anywhere. They are, our most valuable asset. They have been the key to what has made us so successful. There needs to be more emphasis on the total team and what they have produced, and they have been phenomenal. I'm very proud of them, and I want to make that real clear. What a great team that has made us so successful.
In those comments, Joe, of your employees, and I know from the setup guys here to the lady that serves your drinks and serves your dinner. I mean, it's permeated through. Is there a particular thing that these people go through when they enter a Joe Harwood enterprise as far as training or introduction? Is there something that is laid out and spelled to them what it is that you expect of them when they're in contact? Their job is to provide service to those that recreate with you. And I was wondering how you make them or help them understand how to transition and make sure that service is with a smile, regardless of what position you have within your companies.
It is less formalized and less accomplished at the very beginning than it is learned from being around the other staff members. And when we end up with new staff members, the current staff members immediately take responsibility for trying to train them into what is the Arrowhead culture and what you do and how you act around here. And if they are unsuccessful in getting people on board, they let them know pretty quickly what they need to do to get on board. And they're all contributors to that education and the culture.
Do you have a formal process for what I heard you describe and what I would label, and I don't want to get into semantics, but I would say somebody to shadow them or to mentor them? Or is it more informal, just kind of watch what I do and follow and try to absorb that?
Most always they are shadowed with
Okay.
You can't just throw somebody out there in the ocean with the sharks.
Mm-hmm.
They need protection and nurturing, and in the instance like waitresses, service technicians, etc., they work with experienced people and you have much better results. People that are comfortable when they're working are so much more effective than people that are afraid when they're working that they might make a mistake and have a calamity. They'll learn a lot faster if they have the confidence. All they have to do is turn their head and ask a question. It's always worked very well for us. Technicians will generally shadow for a year before they ever start working on boats all together on their own.
Well, when you said technician, right away I think all my experiences of buying, I've bought a lot more cars than I have boats. And you never see the guy, you see the guy that sells it to you, but you never see the guy that services it. And that's one of the things that was so interesting here. These guys are not mechanics. They are certified technicians. I know you send them to every school that the manufacturer has to offer, so they have really stepped it up. And I was wondering on some of the other positions, and let's go back to the everyday people that we meet that the boys on the college kids that are so polite on the gas dock, or again the young lady that's home from college for the summer that fills my water glass. Do you have the formal training? Is that through your food and beverage person, or is that the individual manager of that establishment? Is it their culture that they're sharing, or is it pretty much all encompassing? I know that you switch some of these people back and forth, like from Arrowhead to Cherokee, depending on what is going on, and it seems like it's almost pretty seamless. So it's probably, I just probably answered my own question.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Yes, they are, and each entity and operation, pulls together and tries to make a team out of everything that they do. We're very fortunate that we have so many long-term employees. We have more long-term employees, and that is real value when it comes to training. That you have people that have been there years and years. I have had generations working with me. I've had 3 generations in one family, and I've had that happen several times. I have a longest term employee that's been there 40 years, actually over 40 years. Missy Douglas works there, Arrowhead Yacht Club, and it makes it immensely easier for me. I know that the people they're swimming with have so much experience under their belt, and they're taking those younger ones under and watching.
Talking about tenure, you just triggered my thought. These boat salesmen that are running around this show, what is the average length of their tenure, would you guess, just off the top of your head?
With the Arrowhead Group?
Yes.
And the Arrowhead Group is probably most of them been about 20 years.
20 years.
More.
And I bet they're knocking your door down trying to get in to get part of that group too, aren't they?
Yes. It's an elite group to be part of.
The last one I may want to ask is one thing that we're all interested in is food service. How do you perfect in the kitchen? How do you train somebody to do what it is to have those plates look so fantastic, the food so appealing, the eye candy of the hors d'oeuvres and the desserts? And I heard a story, and maybe you can elaborate on this a little bit and how you teach this guy. I understand you have a special frying system or a heating system for your steaks. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay. I don't. Would you share with me that, and then tell me how it is that you teach a sous chef into full chef, and how that transitions back behind the scene?
Well, I'll answer this in a roundabout way, but I'll get to all of it in the answer. But I liken a lot of it to this, not how did you train them to do that, but like, for instance, in college football, I think that has evolved from coaching great athletes to recruiting great athletes. Is probably the best thing to do, is to not worry about how you're going to train people to do. Just hire people that can really do it to begin with and do a lot less training. I heard a long time ago, I was watching an interview with Barry Switzer, and they were asking him about his success. He was phenomenal. And he said, well, the interviewer said, what, you had such great success, and, what's the difference between good coaches and great coaches? And look, great coaches have great players, good coaches have good players. So in cooking, it's the same thing. You're far better off if you just go out and get people that know what they're doing to begin with, and then stand aside, leave them alone, take care of themselves. And in the food business, well, first thing you better do is start out with the best products. There's so many things that can go wrong when you're cooking a steak or anything in the food process. When you have the opportunity to buy better products to begin with, well, you better buy the best products. You'll have better results. Our steak machine is unique. We use all USDA prime beef for real. And our steak machine is called a Montague steak machine. And that is the same one Ruth Chris has used. It runs about at 1500 degrees, cooks steaks on 2 sides at one time. And you take that, get someone who knows how to use the machine, have USDA prime steaks, and you have a great meal.
I know we're long, but I want to ask you one more question. You triggered something. You said that the lady's name was Missy at your place, and you mentioned Barry Switzer.
Yeah.
I heard a story about him making a presentation, a public presentation, and I think that was the lady that waited on him. And he stood up and gave her some sort of acknowledgement about being a team member of Joe Harwood's team. Were you
Yes,
there?
I was there.
You were there, okay. Do you remember what the situation was, or he was just impressed with the service and congratulated her on being a team member of a wonderful organization, or was it something like that?
He recognized right off that this was a important team player, and that she was not an egotistical person. Wasn't her own. She was part of the team. She was going to do the best possible job that she could do, and it impressed him, and he recognized her, and it was quite a touching moment.
Do you think she even knew who he was?
Oh yeah.
Oh, she did.
My
Okay.
goodness, yes.
Well, you never know. This
You
place is
wouldn't
divided. So, well, again, I thank you for your time. It's enlightening to know that it's an all-encompassing atmosphere, that what works in one division is working in another. It's a culture that's permeated through the ranks. And I congratulate you on that accomplishment as well.
Thank you for the team.
You betcha. Our pleasure.